Yo, Sixers fans, Joel Embiid just played his first game in what, 8 months? And I'm here to tell you, the process is back. After all the injuries, all the surgeries, all the doubt, Joe came out tonight and reminded the world why he's the most dominant big man in basketball. Let's break down everything from his preseason debut. What's good? It's Philly Sports Truth. And listen, I just watched Joel Embiid's return game against the Minnesota Timberwolves, and I am hyped. The stat line? Get this, 14 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists, and 3 steals in just 18 and a half minutes. The Sixers were plus 12 when he was on the floor. And it wasn't just the numbers. It was how he moved, how he played, and how he looked doing it. Before we break down every aspect of his game, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because we're about to do a deep dive into why Joel Embiid, despite all his injuries, is still the best center in the NBA. Let's get into it. All right, before we talk about what happened tonight, we need to understand what Joel Embiid has been through to get to this moment. Serious. February 22nd, 2024. That was the last time we saw Joel Embiid play in an NBA game. That's 238 days ago. Over 8 months. Think about that. And it wasn't just him sitting out because of rest or load management. No, this man was dealing with serious knee issues that threatened his entire career. Let me take you through the timeline. In January 2024, during a game against the Warriors, Jonathan Kuminga fell on Embiid's left leg. That injury turned out to be a torn lateral meniscus in his left knee. So, on February 6th, 2024, Embiid had surgery where doctors removed the damaged portion of his meniscus. Now, normally you'd think, okay, he'll be back in 4 to 6 weeks, right? Wrong. Last season, Embiid only played 19 games total. 19! For a former MVP, a guy who averaged 33 points per game during his MVP season just 2 years ago, to only play 19 games, that's devastating. And when he did come back for the playoffs, you could tell something wasn't right. He was playing hurt. His stats dropped to 23.8 points, 8.2 rebounds. Still solid numbers, but this was not the dominant Joel Embiid we know. Then, this past April, just 6 months ago, Embiid had to undergo another arthroscopic procedure on that same left knee. The team said he'd be reevaluated in 6 weeks. But even at Media Day in September, there was no timeline for his return. Throughout the summer, just radio silence, no updates, no guarantee he'd even be ready for opening night. Concerned, Sixers fans were terrified that the Joel Embiid era might be over before it ever really reached its peak. And that's what makes tonight so special. This wasn't just a preseason game. This was Joel Embiid proving to himself, to the Sixers, and to the entire NBA, I'm still here. I'm still that guy. And I'm going to show you why I'm the best center in the world. Now let's talk about what he did tonight and why these numbers tell a deeper story than just points and rebounds. 14 points on 5 for 10 shooting, including 2 for 4 from 3. First of all, 50% shooting in your first game back in 8 months, that's elite. And he hit 2 threes. The range is still there, the touch is still there. But here's what impressed me even more. He only took 10 shots in 18 minutes. That's not a guy forcing it, That's a player not trying to prove something by jacking up 20 shots. That's smart basketball. That's Joel understanding his role tonight wasn't to drop 40. It was to get his legs under him and help the team win. 7 rebounds in 18 minutes. You extrapolate that over a full game, that's about 15 rebounds per 36 minutes. His rebounding instincts haven't gone anywhere. He was crashing the boards, boxing out, doing all the dirty work. 8 assists. 8 assists! This might be the most impressive stat of the night. Joel Embiid was playing point center tonight. He was making reads, he was finding cutters, he was hitting guys in rhythm for open threes. And remember, this is coming off 8 months of not playing in a real game. His court vision hasn't left. His basketball IQ is still just off the charts. 3 steals? 3 steals shows you his defensive activity. His hands were active, he was jumping passing lanes, he was engaged on that end. And plus 12 in his minutes. The Sixers outscored the Timberwolves by 12 points when Embiid was on the floor. His impact goes beyond the stat sheet. Now, I know what some people are going to say. It's just preseason, the Timberwolves were playing their third stringers, this doesn't mean anything. And you know what? They're partially right. This wasn't against prime competition. But you know what? I don't care. After 8 months of wondering if we'd ever see a healthy Embiid again, tonight I'll take this performance against anybody. The fact that he can move like this, play like this, contribute like this, that's all that matters right now. Now let's talk about what you couldn't see just from the box score. Let's talk about how Joel Embiid actually moved on the court tonight, because that's what's going to determine if this season is different. He was playing at maybe 70 to 80% of his top speed. And you know what? That's perfect. He wasn't trying to do too much. He was playing smart, controlled basketball. And most importantly, he was staying on 2 feet. Last season, whenever Joel drove to the basket, it felt like his knees were going to give out. He was falling to the ground on almost every play. It looked painful to watch. Tonight, completely different. He was under control. He was maintaining his balance. There was one play that had me jumping out of my seat. Joel Embiid went full speed down the court, in transition, and threw down a Euro step. A Euro step. Do you understand how much pressure that puts on your knee? The ability to plant that knee, shift your weight, change directions at that speed, and for his knee not to give out, that's a great sign. His footwork in the post looks smooth. The one dribble crossover, the half spin move, the pump fakes, all the moves that make Joel Embiid special were on display tonight. The bag is still there. And defensively, he was taking away driving lanes. He was contesting 3-pointers. His rim protection was back. Now, there was one play at the end where Joel looked a little out of control driving to the basket. He had some knee-to-knee contact, and you could tell he was nervous for a second. But you know what? He shook it off. He ran back down the floor. He was fine. And honestly, after everything he's been through, a little moment of panic is totally understandable. Impressed. The fact that he bounced back from it shows mental toughness. Now, let's talk about an aspect of Joel's game tonight that really stood out: his playmaking. 8 assists in 18 minutes. That's an absurd assist rate. There was one play that perfectly demonstrated Joel Embiid's gravity. He caught the ball at the elbow, 4 defenders collapsed on him. 4. And that left VJ Edgecomb wide open in the corner. That is the Joel Embiid effect. He doesn't even have to score to completely warp the defense. When he got a rebound or a steal, he immediately looked up the court, firing passes in transition. That's point center basketball. The Maxey Embiid pick and roll, it's back. He even ran off-ball screens. That versatility is what makes him so impossible to defend. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture. Why is Joel Embiid, despite all these injuries, still the best center in basketball? I mean, the center position is stacked. You got Nikola Jokic, Anthony Davis, Wembanyama. I respect the hell out of Jokic. But when Joel Embiid is healthy, there's no one more dominant. Jokic is the better passer. That's undeniable. But Joel Embiid is the better defender, and it's not even close. His defensive versatility is unmatched among big men. And Joel can score in more ways than any other big man in the league. Post-ups, face-ups, threes, mid-range, drives, drawing fouls. He's 7 foot tall, 280 pounds, and he moves like a guard. Joel is the perfect combination of size, skill, athleticism, and basketball IQ. Here's the scary thought for the rest of the NBA. This was Joel's first game in 8 months. He was playing at maybe 75% of his capability, and he still looked this good. Imagine what he's going to look like in a month. So, what does this mean for the Sixers season? Based on tonight, I think Joel is playing on opening night against Boston. They're not going to play him in back-to-backs, and that's fine. I'd rather have Joel healthy for 60 games and the playoffs, and the unfortunate news is Paul George is going to miss opening night, but that might be a blessing. It gives Joel time to work his way back without that immediate championship or bust pressure. If Joel can stay healthy, this team has a real shot at the title. The East is wide open. Look, Sixers fans, I know we've been hurt before. I know we've gotten our hopes up only to see Joel get injured again. But tonight felt different. Tonight, Joel Embiid looked like himself again. The movement, the skill, the basketball IQ, it's all still there. Yes, it was just a preseason game. But after 8 months of wondering if we'd ever see this Joel Embiid again, tonight was a reminder of what's possible when the process is healthy. Now, here's a question we'd like you to think about. After seeing his movement and control, what's a realistic expectation for the number of games Joel Embiid will play this season, and is that number enough to win a championship? Drop your predictions in the comments. Hit that like button if you're hyped about Joel's return. Subscribe for all the Sixers coverage as we build towards opening night. The process is back, baby. Trust it. Let's go, Sixers.